Morning, baby chicks. Okay, good morning, everybody. We're here back at the Cobb Barndominium. Today, what we're going to talk about has nothing to do with my Cobb house. Myself and Simon, we're the ones that are building this house. I think we're doing something radically different than almost every other Cobb builder is doing. And I'm not to say that we're necessarily building the best house in the world or we're using any different methods, which we probably are because I wasn't a cobber when I started this. Just picked up a bunch of books and started learning. So I want to talk about cob workshops, okay? I do a lot of research, obviously, even now that I am into cob, and I've been making my own cob building for a while. And I've never done a workshop. We have hosted 3 or 4 people here at the building for anywhere from 1 to 4 days. And they came and worked, and they helped out as much as they could, and we even stopped progress to explain things and do like plastering. We had no reason to do plastering, but we had one guy come down. We decided to show him how to do some plastering, and I can't help but be, I don't want to say mortified. Mortified's pretty bad. But I look at these cob workshops that are happening. There's a build that happened a few years ago in Tyler, Texas. There's a few more that are going on in Texas right now. There's a very well-known, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast here, but, there's a very well-known cob house that's being built in northern Florida throughout, at least the end of 2018. I know into 2019 they were doing something. But these workshops are just insanity. On the cheap end, I've seen them at $300, $400, $500. At the most expensive, they're like $2,000. And you're not getting a degree. You're definitely not getting a job. You are used to build someone else's house, okay, under the guise of a class, and that's hard for me to stomach. I have to be honest, that is hard for me to stomach. I don't think that's how it should be. You don't even need to have workshops to have a cob house, okay? You get your stuff organized and try not to build a cob barndominium in the first place. I'm actually going to put this camera down here because my arm's killing me today because I was working yesterday. So hopefully you can still see that. So, forgive me for being in my robe here. It's an early morning. But I just can't understand how someone would charge a worker. I mean, we're talking about a person who will be working for you for a week or 2. I don't see how you can charge that person $2,000 and then ask them to do some of the hardest work that definitely Americans have probably ever done in their life. Cob is hard. And I just think that is the absolute wrong way to build a cob house. I think it preys on the community. I think you're asking people to travel halfway across the country at cost, right? I mean, it costs $800 to go travel to Oregon or travel to Florida or travel to Texas, These things don't happen in the middle of the country, and they're rarely right next to you. So when you start talking about charging people $1,000, I mean, they have to eat. I don't even know if they feed them during this process. So let's say anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 to come be part of this massive workshop where the whole point of the Cobb House's owner, right? They are just trying to take revenue from you because, I don't know, maybe they didn't save enough money or whatever the case may be. Maybe they're not building their project as efficiently as they should. 90% of my material comes from my land. If you can't do that, and you're importing or bringing all your material to your property, maybe it's not the best idea to build a Cobb house. There are other versions of clay, sand, straw that are much easier. So regardless, charging someone $2,000, $3,000 to come build your house for you is unconscionable. It is hard work. And in these workshops, a lot of what I hear from people who have asked myself or come to work on my house, or the people who talk to Simon. Simon's really the one that gets all of the responses. He is my apprentice or my assistant or whatever you want to call it. I mean, he's a legitimate cobber right now, and he's responsible for cobbing 60% of this house, all in the span of a year by himself. I would like to take credit for that because I run an extremely efficient job site. If you've seen my property, I dug a pond to get easy clay. Just harvest it right out of the pond. I use my front loader tractor to bring all of the sand that Simon uses onto this site, and it is 5 feet away from the mortar mixer. And I invested in a mortar mixer so that every piece of labor that is put in is just that much more efficient in other things. I mean, I probably invested $2,000 to $3,000 into Cobb tools and accessories, if you will, for this job site. And that's how it should go. I mean, I'm not made of money. I doubt anybody who builds a Cobb house and is involved in it in with themselves is made of money, because you probably wouldn't do it. But the workshop thing is particularly nefarious. If you're not going to pay somebody to gain this experience, that's fine. But they are coming at great expense, right? And let's get back, right? Like, what do we hear back from these people? Simon's all over Facebook, Instagram, and all of those other socially, minded sites. We hear that you go pay $2,000 and you come out feeling that you are a Cobb expert, and you're not. Some of them are mismanaged, some of them are unorganized. When you have 10, 12, 15, 20 people on the site, it is impossible for 1 or 2 people to teach them adequately. And my experience of people, there is a local Cobb professional, if we'll call that person that, and we live near San Antonio and Austin. There's a local Cobb professional that basically went to one of these classes, paid $1,000, and that person immediately started going out and building other people's stuff, and I guarantee you, the things that person is building is not adequate. Maybe they needed to go to like 10 of the workshops they went to. So it's just not a great way to foster the community. Obviously, if you have to pay $2,000, you're going to cut out a lot of people from the community that Cobb would help the most. I have a personal belief that we should be teaching Cobb building in high school. If you are a poor person, you should be living in a Cobb house, nowhere else. This is cheap, it is easy to understand, it is easy to implement. And doing the workshop, Racket is not healthy for the Cobb community. Yeah, people can go take 2 weeks off of work and lose thousands of dollars. And if you can afford to do that, I'm almost certain you are going to turn around and try to do that to somebody else. To charge thousands of dollars per person. 10 people come to your thing, you got $20,000. My God, that's half of what my whole house cost, okay? And they do this over and over and over and over until their house is built. So, it's not right. You know, I do pay Simon. I'm not going to go into money, but I pay Simon to be here and be my apprentice. And he's, I mean, I wouldn't even call him apprentice. He's a Cobb journeyman or even higher now. When he's done with this project, be fully sufficient, and he will be out there building houses for customers, okay? He's been involved in almost every aspect except for the foundation, because everybody hates building the foundation. It's terrible and it's hard. So think about that. I know like 12 to 20 people are going to see this video because nobody cares. So if you do watch it, great. Share it. Try to get it out there. If somebody asks you about Cobb, warn them about Cobb workshops. You are not going to get, I don't think you're going to get what you need to do this. First of all, I wouldn't have done this if I were in the position to need all that labor. I think with efficient design and efficient worksite help, right, and providing the information to people to house themselves, to house their family cheaply and without the myriad of cancerous chemicals that are in a modern day structure. So please, if you do get a hold of this and you're not one of my 30 subscribers, 40 subscribers that probably aren't that interested in Cobb, please just second guess going and spending all your money at a workshop. I think you could buy one of a few books. The Cobber's Companion will basically tell you everything you need to know. Besides, can you build it in your area? How much are your materials going to cost? And the legalities, right? I said, can you build in your, that pertains to the building codes. Go find somewhere that's unrestricted. So watch out, please. I think the Cobb workshop thing is not the way to go. Find people who are interested in this. They will travel to you and give you free labor, and you will teach them more than teaching a man to fish. I mean, we're talking about revolutionizing somebody's complete life, making them and their children and everybody that comes after them happier and healthier. So thank you for watching. Here, we're here at the Cobb Barn Dominium, and support knowledge in this community. Don't turn it into a profit-generating engine, because that is antithetical to what Cobb is. Thank you very much, guys. You have a fantastic day.